Hey guys, I am in Bali, Indonesia right now working on a really fun project that I am so stoked to share with you guys. But in this video, I want to share a story that is very important to me. Before I get into that, I wanted to talk a bit about how I traveled to Afghanistan roughly a year before I had any intention of starting a YouTube channel. So there is a huge gap in terms of video quality between what I captured on that trip and what I feel like I'm currently capable of creating. Nonetheless, this was one of the more meaningful travel experiences I've ever had, so it's still definitely a story worth sharing. To give you guys some context, I traveled to crazy countries like Afghanistan to challenge my perception of the country with real, tangible experiences. When I was planning my trip to Afghanistan, I couldn't help but think about my cousin Will. He served in the US Army in Afghanistan. I was fascinated by the difference of what it must be like to travel to Afghanistan as a civilian versus what it's like to be there as a soldier. So this is my cousin Will, and this is what his first trip to Afghanistan looked like.
Hi, my name is Will Watts, and I served with the United States Army in Afghanistan in 2011.
My team and I were conducting operations in the Shin-Kei-Shamilzai area of Afghanistan. During the mission, our truck was impacted by an IED explosion. Most of our crew sustained minor injuries, except for our gunner, Specialist Robert Fickett, who broke his legs and later received the Purple Heart. Because of the remote location of the mission and the special equipment that we were carrying, our team couldn't abandon the damaged vehicle, or it could be used against coalition forces in the future. A simple 12-hour mission turned into 5 days.
Since we've been home, it left me with a lot of PTSD and confusion about my tour. I was searching for a way to make peace with my negative experiences in Afghanistan.
So after remembering Will's story, I had a crazy idea. What if, as an attempt to gain closure and a more positive perspective on the country, I convinced him to join me on the journey back to the place where he felt the most out of his comfort zone. Thankfully, he was up for the challenge, and our first stop on this adventure would be to attempt to pick up visas in the UAE.
For you too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, without any permission of the MUFA.
Oh, thank you.
In this case, the ambassador said that they are too young.
So basically what happened was just a big old headache, and they basically dismissed us without even talking to us at all. So we kind of just decided to get a day away and come to Abu Dhabi and see the Grand Mosque, which is phenomenal. So one of Lexie's friends, Gunnar, the next day recommended the actual Afghani embassy is here in Abu Dhabi.
We're going to Afghanistan!
And
How
it's
do you
happening.
feel about that?
I'm more excited now. But
excited that the whole visa thing worked out.
Yeah, but don't worry.
At the same time, are you feeling like, oh wow, it's actually happening now?
Yeah, the excitement's definitely gonna fade. It's gonna turn into nervousness before you know it.
Time to pack. It's happening. So it's 4 o'clock in the morning. We're ready to go.
Lexie and I are getting aboard on the plane to Kabul, and she is the literal only woman in the entire airport plaza. We landed in Kabul. We are gonna have a layover here for a couple hours, and I found this girl, Roxana, and she looked really sad. She was crying, and she just went through a breakup too, and so I went up to her, and we've been using the Google Translate app to talk back and forth to each other.
So, we just got off of the plane.
Rickshaws, I forgot about rickshaws.
Rickshaws, military men,
Everywhere.
crazy driving.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting. So we are walking around the Blue Mosque in Herat, Afghanistan. So right now we are going to a tile factory where 10 men make all of the tiles that are on the Blue Mosque. Put them here?
Every worker takes this time to construct all of these tiles. There's no machine that's used here. Lexie and I are
wandering around the streets,
Yep. We're
the marketplace.
marketplace of Afghanistan.
Hi, Lexie.
Put it up. Put it up. Like this.
So you can
So crazy.
see. We got into Herat and at first we were a little sketched out because it's real militaristic on the outskirts of town. But we got close to the Blue Mosque and we're in the bazaars now. And our guide is super helpful. Everyone's really friendly, and it doesn't feel dangerous at all here. And it's really, really cool. It's amazing. Having a blast.
Kachiri. It's rice with gosh or with meat. This is chicken tandoori. And what is this here?
This
The beans?
beans.
Yes. Beans and then fresh bread with lamb kebabs. Yes.
So we are walking around Alexander the Great's castle that was built over 2,000 years ago, and it was completely destroyed by the Russians in the 80s, but they rebuilt it.
I'm on top of Alexander the Great's castle. This is crazy. It overlooks the entire city.
I am so grateful for the impact that this trip has had on both of our lives. Overall, we had an incredibly successful trip. I couldn't be happier with the way that it affected my cousin's mental health. Here is a little bit of what he took away from the trip.
Going to Afghanistan and being able to come back, I look at it as a different place now. And I have different memories now as well. All of those are very important for reframing it in my mind, how I think about it. And I was able to let all that anger go. Their country is beautiful and their culture is beautiful. Having the opportunity to go back and to experience it for myself and have an opinion of my own has changed the way I will look at Afghanistan forever.
I just want to point out that I don't necessarily recommend traveling to Afghanistan. It is an incredibly unstable country and the situation can change at any time. I wouldn't recommend traveling there unless you are a highly experienced traveler and you have done all of the research necessary. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the subscribe button and I will catch you on another adventure next week.